and your hometown Evart Wildcats.
Paul. You plug in the one that can only hear through 1 ear.
Okay. Tonight, Nia Bell would like to honor her hero in the bleachers. Nia has chosen her mother, Selena. This is what Nia had to say. Throughout the years, there hasn't been one time I've looked into the stands, and you haven't been there cheering me on. Some may say your parents aren't supposed to be your best friend, but you are mine. You've shown me that it's okay to mess up and still become better. No matter how hard I am on myself, you always make me feel like I'm number one. Thank you for always supporting me and believing in me when I don't believe in myself. Love, Nia. It's also Nia's mother's birthday, so let's sing happy birthday really quick. Happy birthday to you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that if you are able to please rise, remove your hats, place your right hand over your heart as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Timothy O'Malley, first year head coach, girls varsity basketball at McBain High School.
Eddie Ridgway, sophomore, number 1, guard. Chelsea Isinga, senior, number 2, guard.
Michaela Van Polen, sophomore, number 3, forward guard.
Peyton Grant, junior, number 5, guard. Adria Roosevelt, sophomore, 10, forward.
Ayla Ferdine, junior, number 11, guard.
Michaela Flood, junior, 12, forward. Shannon Maloney, senior, 22, forward guard. Isabel Roosevelt, senior, number 23, center.
Briella Wallenges, junior, 32, forward. Bridget Roby, junior, number 34, guard.
Number 2, Chelsea Isinga. Number 5, Peyton Grant. Number 22, Shannon Maloney. And number 23, Isabel Roosevelt. The Ramblers are coached by Mr. Tim O'Malley.
Welcome everybody to tonight's matchup between the Ramblers of McBain and the Wildcats of Evart. Now, this is a very high-powered Highland Conference battle right here. I mean, the Evart Wildcats are having a heck of a year. They're number 1 in the conference right now, but the Ramblers are just edging right behind them, trying to claim that title for themselves. And both these teams are ranked. Well, Evart is ranked number 5 right now in the state for Division III. And the girls' McBain team, they were ranked number 1 at some point, but then they had, with a devastating loss to Manton, another powerhouse team in the Highlands, they were knocked down, not even in the rankings anymore. So this is a high-powered matchup right here. And I am Grayson Gerds, and I'm joined here by...
I am Cade Weaver. Welcome back to myself, I suppose.
Yep.
It's been a year since I've back announcing, and I'm lucky to be here with Grayson Guernsey, one of my favorite guys to be announcing with. And like he said before, what a great matchup we got going tonight.
Yes, it is a really, like I said, high-powered one. Evart, #1 in the conference, and McBain, #2. But both of them have 2 losses in the conference. So if McBain's able to win this game, they're either going to take first place or second, but most likely they're going to be first. Because right now the Ramblers are 7-2 conference play, and Evart is 8-2 in conference play. And I mean, this Evart team so far, they've been just a sensation in Division 3. I mean, they got a high power. For the amount of people that they have, they're actually really, really good. And it all started with Kyra Gray. I mean, she scored her 1,000th point this year, and she's just one of the main superstars on this team.
And looking for the jump here, it'll be Shannon Maloney, and that'll be number 15, Emily Miller.
Maloney gets it, gives it to Eisenga, and Eisenga's trying to, almost stolen right there, but Grant now trying to set something up. Stolen by Gray. Gray's running down the court, goes up with a shot, blocked by Grant, and Grant's trucking it down the court, trying to find an opening. Goes up with a shot, no good. And then the Ramblers are going to get it back, and if that's going to be, gives it to Eisenga. And that's going to be, I think, a foul on Evart, and now McBain's going to be getting the ball. Immediately, both high stamina plays. I mean, it went back and forth almost like
steal after steal,
yeah.
Really, necessarily.
It just shows how much of an high energy game this is going to be. Wildcats get it, and that's going to be Kyra Gray taking it down the court. Gives it to Elder. Elder to Miller. And then there's going to be a travel call in there, and that's going to be McBain's ball.
Now, right there, that was a good play there by Izzy, keeping her feet, making sure she doesn't cause too much of a technical foul there. And with the result of making her travel, that's exactly what you want to see from a great post player, just setting up right under the hoop, trying to make sure they do not get the layup.
And Everett's going to immediately put some pressure on McBain. And Grant's going to try to set up a play. It's going to be knocked out of bounds, but it's going to be McBain's ball. I think that was number 12 or 10 on defense. Baumgartner. Eisenga trying to find an opening. Gives it, that's going to be 5-second count. It's going to be Everett's ball.
Time to time, you'll find that in these kind of matchups, especially when it's the #1 seed and 2nd seed in the conference. I mean, when you go to the out-of-bounds plays, they're going to be right on top of each other, making sure that none of them can get the ball again.
Yeah. And once again, like we said, Evart is ranked 5th in Division 4 right now, so they got a very, very good team this year. Rebounded by Roosevelt. And Grant's going to take it down the court, giving it down low to Maloney. Maloney has an open lane. He has a jump stop, goes up with the shot, no good. Rebounded by Isabel. Isabel goes up, no good. Rebounded by number 44 on Evart. Madison tied it. Gray's going to go and passes out to number 1, Elder. Shot up. That's good for 2. And Everett's going to be the first one to dig their claws in. Which gets blocked by Gray. And she's going to be taking it down the court. Gives it over to Eisenga. Eisenga down low to Roosevelt. Roosevelt goes up with the ball, and that's going to be good for 2. McBain responding back.
And there we go, 2-2. Just as Grayson has said earlier in this game, it is going to be a very close game.
Pass out number 15. She's going to shoot that 3 ball. No good. Rebounded by Grant. And Grant getting immediate pressure down the court. Tries giving it down to Maloney, but intercepted by Gray. And Gray's going to be taking it down the court. 2-1 right now. Gives it number 10. She's out for 3. Cash's bank is not open. She gets her own rebound, and that's going to be a jump ball. And I imagine that's going to be Everett's. No, it's going to be yes.
Yep, Everett's. There we go. A very fast-paced game as well, and as expected, really. Both teams are really known to be fast-playing teams. I mean, even last year, when you look back at last year, both teams are very fast-paced.
And, I mean, both of them made it to the playoffs, and then they'd lose to eventually the Final Four Lake City team.
Yeah, Lake City was extravagant last year.
Well, it helps when you have a girl that's 6'4".
It does, yep, it does.
That's like as tall as I am.
Yep, no, you and me both, buddy.
Yep. All right, there's going to be a foul, and that's going to be number 15 shooting, Emily Miller. Her first shot is good. And Evart retakes the lead.
3-2. We'll see if she can make her second free throw.
Second shot is good.
Makes the score 4-2 now.
And Evert's immediately applying that press break, but then Ramblers are going to try to break it. Maloney takes it down up the court, gives it to Grant. Grant trying to set up an offense. Does some dribble moves, gives it out to Roosevelt. Roosevelt down low to, tries to give it to Eisinger, but it's intercepted by number 15, Miller.
Good placement there by Evart, just making sure they're right on top of blocking Eisinger's passing lane, and exactly what happened. Got the stolen ball, now they're back on the other side of the court.
Gray with the ball, finds an open lane. It's going to be a push, and it's going to be Everett's ball underneath the hoop.
You know, right there, as you know, as a post player yourself, it's pretty hard when you're trying to stop a person driving in like that. And then as soon as you don't stop in time, they'll call that push right on you.
Yeah.
And you know, as a post player, you just kind of sigh there, and you're like, ah, man.
Mm-hmm. Evart trying to find an opening. Tries to give it out, stolen by Grant. Oh, nope, she's not going to be able to get it. And Gray with the ball does some moves, pushes it out for the three, but no good. Good defense by Ridgway, and that's going to be, I think, a foul, so she's going to get, it's going to be Everett's ball. Substitution for Evart, number 22. Bell in for number 15, Miller. Baumgartner gets it. Trying to find someone to give it to. It's stolen by Grant. Grant's drive, wide open lane. Tries giving it to Ridgway. That's going to be no good, out of bounds.
Now McBain will be taking set right under the hoop of Evart. And we'll see what they can do with this out of bounds play. As we have Maloney trading in for number 12, Michaela Blood. Been pulling under the hoop.
Immediate defensive presence, but Grant shoots the two ball. No good. Rebounded by number 44. Tied it. Gray's going to be taking it down the court. Does a good move. Has a wide open lane. Tries to give it out to the outside, but it's going to be rolled out of bounds.
A little too fast paced for them there. Evart just trying to keep that pressure going of fast. But unfortunately, if you do keep going that speed for a very long time, some of your other players might not keep up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like going high speed. There's always going to be at least that one or two players that like can't really keep up with it at that moment.
Correct.
Because for some people, it takes a bit to be able to like warm up to like get to that maximum speed that this offense requires. But once they're like they're not quite at that point yet.
Yep. And now we got a timeout. And in that timeout, we will go to a commercial break.
Brought to you by L&J Meat Market.
McBain Hardware has been serving the McBain community for over 60 years. They have an expansive collection of Milwaukee tools and products. As my brother likes to say, if they don't have it, then you probably don't need it. Come down to see Tyler, Ron, or Trevor at McBain Hardware on 118th North Rowland Street, McBain, Michigan, for all your everyday hardware needs.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going to be McBain's ball. Grant gets it up top. Does a dribble, kind of puts herself in a corner, and then Tidet's going to get it and gives it to Gray. Gray immediately finds an opening, tries to go up with a shot. That's good, and that's going to be good for two, and Evart has a substantial lead right now.
6-2 in the very first quarter. Now we have Grant picking up the ball and dribbling down half court as we speak.
Gives it to Ridgway, and then that's knocked away by Tidet. And that's going to be Rambler's ball right underneath the hoop. Roosevelt, big is about Roosevelt in for little Roosevelt, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Blood gets it, shoots it up, no good. Rebounded by, Gray gets the rebound. And Gray has a wide open lane. Gives it down low, stolen by Blood. Gives it to Grant, and Grant's immediately getting pressured again. Gives it to Ridgway. Ridgway tries to get it down low to the paint. That's going to be no good. Now it's going to be one-on-one. Chiron, Gray, and Grant. And Gray goes up, no good. Rebounded by Roosevelt. Little Roosevelt specifically gives it down to Ridgway on the press break. Ridgway gives it to Blood. She hits it off the paint, and that's going to be good for 2.
And there we go. Ramblers responding back after rambling on there what seemed to be quite a while. And now we got a timeout, I believe, by the Wildcats.
Wildcats going to call a timeout after that fast-paced action. And, I mean, instant replay right there. I mean, what you can see is that you can see immediately gets the pressure, gives it down to the block, gives it down to her right there. And then what she sees is she sees Blood right there going for it, an easy just layup right to the basket. That's just basic press, like full press play right there.
That's exactly how you break those, too. You just got to get ahead of it just a little bit, and Ridgway was right there for it. And Blood getting right under the post. Oh, it's just beautiful. It's like you painted a picture right there, and that's how you get it done.
Yeah, and I mean, we got this new technology right here that's allowing us to do that type of stuff that you just saw. So, I mean, it's great.
It is. It's different. I never had it last year, so this is awesome.
No, we've made a lot of improvements since your time.
Yeah. Oh, you make me sound old. I'm not even that old.
There's going to be a travel, and McBain just got a lot of momentum right now. I mean, the one thing that I love about basketball is that, you don't like it as a player, that in any second, just a snap of a finger, the momentum could change from one side to another. Either, like, you get a stop on defense, you score some really tough points on offense. It can just switch, like, back and forth all night.
Exactly, and that's why they also call it a head game as far as sports, because you have to have your head in the game, not just your physicality.
Stolen by number 10. Bumgarner is going to take it down the court. Gives it to Gray. Gray tries going down the middle. Gives it to number 44. Tied it, and she gets blocked. Tried going for it. Gives it out to Gray. Gray does a pump fake. Tries to get it down low, and that's going to be knocked away by Blood.
And as we just seen right there, we definitely got the height advantage when it comes to post players. I mean, you had Michaela Blood there and Van Polen down there. When you have both of them sticking their arms up, it's quite impossible to try and get a ball up there. It'll easily be blocked.
Yeah. Tied it's going to do the jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Grant. Grant immediately gets pressured right in her face, but now she's taken it out of the court. Blood is almost able to haul that pass in. Still great court vision for Grant.
That's exactly what we've seen before in Grant. She has her eyes almost everywhere on the court, and that's why she's one of the valuable players on the McBain team. She can see almost every player and knows where to throw the ball at the right moment.
Gray's able to get in, gives it to Tidet. McBain's doing a full court press right now. It seems as if it got broken up. Gray gives it to Tidet. Tidet gives it out to the corner. Gives it back to Gray. Gray gives it to the corner again. Everett's just trying to open up, try to get that three ball as much as possible. Grant is on the defender, splits him, blocks the shot, and Grant is driving down the court. Gives it to Ridgway. Ridgway finds an opening, goes up with a jump shot, no good. Rebounded by Gray. Gray goes in. I think that's going to be a reaching or...
That would be a push call on Van Pol.
Alrighty.
Sestic's Evart underneath McBain's basket.
There's going to be a foul.
And with the instant replay here coming again. As we've seen here, she passes to 44, but unfortunately, when she sees her teammate go right to the corner, and she tries to shoot three, but it does not count right there for the exact reason of her moving her feet.
Van Polen, immediate pressure, gives it to Ridgway. Everett's playing very open lane. She goes up with a shot. That's going to be no good, and that's going to be a shooting foul right there. She's going to be shooting two. Nice, strong drive by Ridgway.
Exactly. That's what you like to see. And McBain, you watch some of their games, we are known for our strong drives, and we do not give up even if there's anybody in the way. And right there, Ridgway showed a perfect example of that, trying to get off the shot.
Ridgway's first shot, no good. Looks like the refs need to talk about something real quick. Seems as if the refs are talking about something.
Oh, about the pool noodles, I think, on the Evart side. Can't do it.
Yeah, I think that's what they're just told, is that they're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, there he is. He's collecting them. And so the Evart students resort to making noise with their hands instead. Ridgway going up for a second shot.
No good. It's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be Evert's ball. Or no, wait. Yeah, that's going to be Evert's. Nope, the student section gets all their noodles taken away right now. Immediate pressure. Able to break it. Evart trying to find a lane. Drives in. She goes up with a shot. Nice coast to coast right there.
Now it makes the game 8-4 as Ridgway goes down the court with it for McBain.
1 minute and 16 seconds left in the first. Blood getting pressure right in her face. Dribbles it. Gives it to Roosevelt. To Ridgway. Ridgway trying to find an opening on the offense. Gives it to Grant. Grant does a nice crossover. Tries to shoot a three. McBain goes to the hole. Gives it to Roosevelt. She goes up. No good.
It's staying there after the ref called a foul there.
Everett's just going like right up in your face, breathing right down your neck.
They scored their 4 points. They're ahead by 4 now. They want to keep it that way. They don't want McBain scoring nothing, and that's exactly the point they're trying to get across. Fast-paced, heavy defense.
And so far they're doing pretty good because McBain's only down to 4 points. Blood tries to drive in, and there's going to be a travel call on Blood, so that's going to be Everett's ball.
And right there again, perfect example, in your face. I mean, it's hard when you got 2 of them right there.
And right there, the press break just breaks into pieces, and she's not able to capitalize on that moment. And now Grant's going to get down the court. Gives it to Ferdine. Ferdine trying to find an opening. Gives it down low to Blood. Blood goes up strong with the shot. That rolls right off the lip of it. That's going to be tight. It gives it to Gray. Gray immediately pressure right in her face. She has an opening right to the hole. That's going to be I think.
That's going to be called on Roosevelt, unfortunately.
Substitutions for both Evart and McBain.
And as we have number 2 for Evart, that'll be Kyra Gray.
Gray
Shoots
shoots
first.
Good. Now they have a pretty scary lead, not going to lie.
Yep, that's exactly. I mean, when you get 9-4 now, it's first quarter, not fourth. Oh,
yes.
Wow. Even still, with that early and the way this game's ought to be coming forward, it's just going to be worse, I feel.
Second shot's Roosevelt with the rebound. Gives it to Grant. Hands it off to Ridgway. Ridgway has an opening to the hole. She takes it. She goes up, gives it down to Isaac. Isaac goes up, and that's going to be a shooting foul, and she's going to be shooting too. These are crucial shots right here because, I mean, it can make it a – I'm not good at math, but I think it can make it a 4-point game.
Yep, I hear you, especially if she just makes one of them. And then that'll be 4 points. Right now they're ahead by 5. Isenga with her first. And nothing
Shot
but
is good.
net. That'll make it a 4-point game now. Ramblers 5, Wildcats 9.
Isaac, one of the three seniors on this basketball team. I mean, both teams, the varsity and the varsity boys and girls, is very, very young.
It is, isn't it? And now with Isenga's second shot, that should make the score. There we go, 9-6. Ramblers 6, Wildcats 9. As we end the first quarter. And what a first quarter. Very fast-paced but low-scoring game. But that's because both defenses are really on each other and trying to make sure no points happen.
Yes.
And now we will take our first quarter break.
And this is brought to you by L&J Meat Market.
Here at Shepherd's Agency in downtown McBain, we are your local and trusted source for all your insurance needs. We truly appreciate our clients and we work hard to provide them with the best coverage at a fair price. If you're not already a client of ours, contact us and let us see what we can do for you. Call us at 231-825-2411. Stop in the office or visit us online at shepherdsagency.com.
Back from the break. Ferdine takes it down the hole, gives it to Eisinga. Score right now is 9-6. Wildcats in the lead. Roosevelt gives it to Grant. Grant wide open for three. She shoots it. No good. Rebounded by Ferdine. And then that's going to be Everett's ball, and they're taking it down the court. Evart has a gives it out to the corner. Hopefully get that three. Gives it to Gray. Tough defense by McBain. Tries to do a spin move. Stolen by Roosevelt. And Grant's going to be taking it down the court. Grant gets a move. Tries to drive and gives it down low to Roosevelt. Roosevelt going to get that shot. Violation. She's going to be shooting two.
And there we go. If she does instant replay again.
Alrighty, we got instant replay right here. Okay, so basics. Grant's right here. Dribbles out, does a juke move, gives it down here, and then does a nice little pass right there for Roosevelt to go up, and she gets hit right about right there. So she's going to be getting that violation, so she's going to be shooting two, and I'm pretty sure she made her first one, which makes it a 3-point game now. No, 2-point game, my bad.
And with the Ramblers rambling their way on back up to the score, it's a 3-point game. And like Jason just said, they make this next one. It's only a layup away. And it is. Tight game again here in the second quarter. As we have Evart, number 15, I believe that's Miller, gives it to 44, passing half court now.
And it looks like Maloney doing some tough defense. And Grant's able to knock it away, but it's going to be out of bounds on the Ramblers. Everett trying to, and Grant does another great defensive stop right there.
And here we go. Just back to back there, just Grant absolutely making sure that the Everett Wildcats do not get their ball back. They are applying heavy, heavy defense here.
And Gray's going to get it. She has an open lane. Pushes it out to the three ball. Kind of fumbles it, and that's going to be I think, 23 is, that's going to be on Roosevelt for a trip. Substitution. It's going to be Little Roosevelt for Big Roosevelt.
It's very unfortunate there from Big Roosevelt. I mean, when you fall there and then unfortunately the trip, I don't think she absolutely meant that either.
No. Down low, tied it, pushes out for three. Drives an open lane, tries to get it down low. That's going to be a travel call, and that's going to be McBain's ball.
And there we go, McBain back in the driver's seat with 8 to 9. As we're going to have Grant looking to pass it into Eisinga. And we're going to continue with the fast pace, I believe. I don't think that is ever going to slow down during this game.
A miscommunication by McBain, so that's going to be Everett's ball.
It's very unfortunate when you have two players miscommunicate like that. I mean, I'm sure you've had it so far at some points this season, Grayson.
Yes.
And the most important part is picking your head back up and getting back into the game and just put that back in the bag and leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it happens. There's bound to be more mistakes made by everybody. You just need to keep going and moving forward. That is the main part. I feel most players need to get inside their own head, not let the game get to their own thoughts. Because, like I said before, as much as physicality you need in sports, you also need a strong mindset, and that is a well-done foundation.
McBain's going to be pressing. Tied it, taking it down the court. Does a nice spin move right there. Drives, giving it down to the paint, number 22, and that's going to be, I think, a foul on Little Roosevelt, and that she's going to be shooting two now. Number 22, that is Bell.
Unfortunately, sometimes like that, when you get to when you're a post player and you try and knock the ball away by jumping, it's almost like a hit or miss. Sometimes you're accidentally going to get a foul when you absolutely don't mean to. And sometimes it's going to work out in your favor. You're going to knock that ball right away. And there we go with Evart, number 22, making her first free throw. And now she'll be looking for her second 2-point game now. 8 to 10, Wildcats are up.
number 22. Maloney gives it to Grant. Grant trying to find an opening. Calls a play. Does a little bit of a move. Kicks it out to Van Polen. Van Polen gives it down to Blood. Blood keeps it inbounds, gives it to Isaac. She goes up for two, and that's going to be good.
Great recovery by Blood, almost losing the ball, but with her long arms, that's amazing just to grab that before it went out of bounds, giving the pass back. 10-10 now, Evart.
Three ball, deep, no good. Rebounded by Isinga, and now it's a tied game, so Ramblers have the chance to take the lead with if they score right here. Isinga tries to find an opening, gives it to Grant. Grant over to Maloney. Maloney tried to find the down low, gives it to Blood. Blood thinks about shooting it, gives it down to Van Polen. Van Polen goes up with a shot. Nice turnaround right there to go up for it.
And the Ramblers steam past the Wildcats, taking the lead by 2, now 10-12.
And the Ramblers have a lot of momentum on their side. I mean, they had a defensive stop, and they just scored on offense. So, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on Evart. Evart, she goes up with a shot. That's going to be in and out, not going to be good. And she's going to be shooting too. That's going to be Gray specifically.
And we got an instant replay here. So right here, we got Van Polen passing it down to Michaela. Michaela losing the ball here, but grabs it and tosses it right back, and they were able to make the layup right there. I mean, fantastic job, and you got to have very quick arms and hands to do so. Very well eye-hand coordination,
yes,
keeping up with it.
Yes, you have to have that. Shots up, and that's going to be good.
And we're tie game once again.
Tied game, I mean. Hey, this is Everett's ranked number 5. McBain was at one point ranked number 1 in Division 3. So, I mean, it's obviously going to be a good matchup. That's probably not going to have a substantial lead at any point in the game.
No. Very close scoring game, I do believe.
Van Polen gets the ball knocked away, and it's going to be McBain's ball still. I mean, she got trapped right there, and you can't do that much underneath against that big of a trap. And I think that's going to be a timeout on McBain. Or wait, let's see what I'm pretty sure it's on McBain.
Yep.
Full timeout, and then we'll see you after the quick break. Brought to you by L&J.
McBain Hardware has been serving the McBain community for over 60 years. They have an expansive collection of Milwaukee tools and products. As my brother likes to say, if they don't have it, then you probably don't need it. Come down to see Tyler, Ron, or Trevor at McBain Hardware on 118th North Roland Street, McBain, Michigan, for all your everyday hardware needs.
Evil's whole hog sale is happening now.
Only $1.89 a pound hanging weight. You can fill your freezer for less.
Enjoy delicious pork chops, ribs, and roasts, packaged just how you like it.
Make meal planning a breeze when you head to your freezer for smoked pork chops, pork sausage, or pork roast for the crock pot.
Enjoy Michigan-raised pork and go hog wild over our bacon.
From Evil's General Store in Falmouth, Reed City, and Everett.
The action. Score right now, 12-12. Nobody has the lead specifically.
They both have the lead. 12-12.
Yes, both of them have the lead. Gives it to Grant. Grant in the corner throws a Hail Mary to Isinga. Isinga kicks out to Blood. Blood shoots the 3 ball. No good off the lip. Rebounded by Grant. Grant goes up with a shot. That's going to be no good. Rebounded by Van Polen. And then it's eventually going to be Everett's ball. Number 1, Elder. Elder going to take it down the court. Elder trying to find an opening, gives it to Tight It. Gives it back to Elder. Elder gives it to Gray. Gray gives it to Elder. I mean, Everett's just trying to spread out the floor. They're running like a 4 out or something like that, 1 in. So, I mean, the whole point of that type of offense is to get that chance to shoot the 3 ball, which it's effective.
It is, because you have multiple players looking on the like right there. Gives more players a chance to be open at one time as the defense too busy with somebody else.
Grant goes into the hole. She goes up with a shot. No good. Rebounded by Gray. Gray taking it down the court, spreading out the offense, gives it down to the corner. She drives in, getting pressure in her face by Maloney. Maloney!
And there's a foul right there. That'll be under the hoop.
Just a reminder for all the people here, I'm not going to be here for the second half because I am playing on the varsity basketball team. I might not be playing tonight, but I don't really care that much. And so you're going to be, rest of the night's going to be taken away by Cade. Shot is up, and she just chucks that into the sky and hopes for the best, but she does get a foul, so she will shoot 2.
And here we go. A chance to take the lead. Wildcats will have that by number 44. That is Tight. She'll be able to sway the lead here.
If she makes them. First shot. No good, in and out. Substitution, that's going to be Ridgway in for Blood. And that's going to be Hoydinga in for Maloney. I mean, Hoydinga, she got moved up from the JV onto the varsity. So, I mean, she's just showing that McBain's future, specifically for girls basketball, is looking bright.
And that second shot, no matter what, did not count as one of the Wildcat players stepped over the line before the ball was released from her hands.
Grant taking her time down the court. Guarded by Gray. Gives it to Isaac. Isaac loses the ball. And Isaac's going to jump on top of it, and I think that's going to be McBain's ball.
Very well done there by Isaac.
No, it's going to be Evert's.
After, yep.
You speak.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Isinga there, well done by her. I mean, losing the ball, yes, it resulted in a jump ball, but getting right back on top of it so they didn't get the breakaway there was absolutely amazing.
Gray does a nice overhead catch right there, able to take back the lead, the Wildcats.
Wildcats now 14-12 as Grant passes the half-court line.
Oh, my goodness, miscommunication by McBain, and that's going to be Evert's ball, and McBain just, I think they're inside of a hole right now that they can't get out of. Oh.
Pretty good move right there.
Yeah, by Gray. McBain switching defenders. Gets through, and there's going to be a travel call. And, I mean, it's going to be McBain's chance. This is a good chance for McBain to switch the momentum and take the lead.
Yes, especially in it, like we said before, it is not going to be a huge drastic difference between the score. I mean, we're still 14-12. It's McBain's time to shine here, hopefully to tie it up and keep the pressure going.
Ridgway shoots the 3 ball, knocked off the backboard, and that's going to be good for 3.
Or take away what I just said. Take the lead. Ramblers 15. Wildcats 14 now.
I mean, right there, that's a good play.
It was great.
Momentum shifter at its most. Inside, Kyra Gray gets, and then she's not rebounded by Hoydinga. The freshman making some moves. Gives it to Ridgway. Guarded by Gray. Gives it over to Isaac. Isaac shoots the 3 ball. No good off the, and that goes in for 3. And McBain is having the run right now. They're in the race, and they're taking the lead.
There they go. Now they're just getting away right now. 18-14, 4-point game now. Ramblers just got to keep up the pressure.
McBain is, I mean,
and
Evart responds. Oh, my gosh.
18-17 now.
Isinga with the ball. Gives it down to Hoydinga. Hoydinga goes up with a shot. No good. Gets her own rebound. Goes up with a shot. No good. Rebounded by Tidet. The freshman trying her best to get inside that hoop. Gray gets over top. Has a wide open lane. And then she goes in and misses the layup.
Grant with it now coming back.
Gives it to, that's Ridgway. Ridgway trying to find an opening. Gets a screen. Gives it to Van Polen. Van Polen. Hands it off to Grant. Grant gives it to Ridgway. McBain running a 4 out right now, trying their best to get somebody. Isaac tries taking it to the hole, does a good shot, and that's no good. Gray gets the rebound. 17-18. Everett player wide open down the hoop, gets it. Rebounded by Hoydinga. Hoydinga Gives it to Ridgway. Ridgway tries to find an opening. That's going to be...
And that'll be a foul on Evart right there on number 1. And as we got a sub for Isaac, Blood comes back into the game. Van Pol now going under the hoop. And before Van Pol could give it to Ridgway, 5 seconds was called, and now the Wildcats back in the driver's seat in the final seconds of the second quarter.
And Everts, 42 seconds left on the clock. Ramblers have the lead. Ramblers putting as much pressure as possible. Tries to give it down low, but it's going to be out of bounds and McBain ball. I'm already having fourth quarter energy, and it's not even the fourth, it's the second.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it'll be Evart ball, actually. That'll be number 2, Gray under the hoop looking.
Gray gives it out to 10. 10 shoots the 3 ball. That's no good. Rebounded by Evart. Goes up again. McBain gets it, gives it out to Hoiniga. Hoiniga gives it to Grant. And McBain's going to have one last shot to make a point or something like that. Ferdine goes in with the shot, no good. Rebounded by Tidet. And that's going to do it for the first half. Your score 17. McBain 17. No, McBain 18.
McBain 18. Evart 17.
And I'm going to be going now. I got to play, and then Cade's going to take it away. It's been nice announcing with you again,
It has
Cade.
been, yep. Good luck, Grayson. See you a bit later, buddy.
Yep.
Oh, and what a first half, ladies and gentlemen. Amazingly played by both teams. Very fast-paced and all around just it's just fast. I can't really explain it. So 18-17, we'll see what each team has coming back in the second half. And we will be going to halftime now. Thank you very much.
You know about McLain's excellence in auto repair and transmission work. Now he takes that same work ethic in selling mid-value SUVs and rest-free Southern trucks at an affordable price. These vehicles all have an exact description on his website at www.mclainsautosales.com, or you can just call today at 231-779-1394.
Welcome back to the show. McBain's Rambler Review is up for a coveted Michigan Association of Student Broadcasters Award, the only program in Northern Michigan to be recognized.
And we're joined by Gary and Isabel with the program so they can tell us all about it. Thank you both for being here. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Yeah, we really appreciate this. It's great an honor for us.
Well, we're happy to do it. Isabel, let's start with you.
All right.
Tell us, what is the Rambler Review?
So the Rambler Review is kind of our students that we work basketball games, we'll record, or sports games in general.
Okay.
We have sports announcers that'll do tell you what's going on.
Play-by-play?
Yep.
Gotcha.
And so those will be up live, and then they'll be there to watch back on our YouTube page. And then
so cool.
We also have student productions where people do interviews, we'll make commercials, have little shows that people will put on, and those will be on our student productions page. And then we also do live of concerts, band and choir, and just various things going around. So.
What a wonderful, wonderful way to get people inspired to, not just in journalism, but in media production, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we being honored for this year, Gary?
Well, the Michigan Association of Broadcasters has an annual award for both audio and video production of various sporting events or stories and stuff like that.
Right.
For the first time, we entered a group for the audio broadcast of the McBain versus Benzie Central district final game last year, where Isabel Roosevelt was on the call on my play-by-play. We had Cade Weaver doing the color, and then we had Grayson and Thomas doing our halftime shows and stuff like that. And we put a big production, but we only can do audio because you're not allowed to show video for the postseason according to MHSA regulations. So after we did that game, we were down at the state semifinals when McBain was playing. We were going to do another broadcast, and John Ross from the MHSAA and John Johnson, the former director of media, said, we saw your production. That was great. You need to get that girl nominated and send it in. And so I told Izzy Rose about this, and then she was able to put together a tape, and lo and behold, top 3 in the state.
Wonderful. What an honor. What an honor.
Well, you're going down a rabbit hole because I started my career in high school TV as well, and at some point there's no turning back. So just take your time before you jump in head first. What's most rewarding to you about this and maybe your classmates? What do you like about doing the Rambler Review?
I just like being involved in like the community aspect, like being able to like put something out there for people that necessarily can't necessarily get to the games. Like being able to have something out there that they can watch and still feel like they're watching. So like the most rewarding part about this is like knowing that like what people are saying back at home, like, oh, you're so good at this, is being recognized at like such a high level. Like it's one thing to have your mom look at you and say you do a good job, but another thing to.
It's really important. Don't get me
yes,
wrong.
love you, mom.
Thank you, mom.
Mom's approval is required.
But to get recognized at the state level is pretty awesome.
It's huge.
No, she's underselling it a little bit because last year her grandfather's health started to fail, and he loved to be the #1 supporter of both Izzy and her sister Adria, but he could no longer go to the game. And only through the Rambler Review was he still able to connect with his 2 granddaughters and continue to do that for the last days of his life. And so that was really kind of a huge. I think that's why she pours so much into it, because she sees there's people like that. That's the only way they're left to connect with.
And that's the thing. There's so many people who want to be at the game, want to support the teams, but they just, for one way or another, they can't. And this gives them that connection without having to be there physically. Gary, I'd love to hear, because these programs are not just thrown together overnight. Like it takes a lot of work, a lot of logistics, a lot of back and forth, and then you have to inspire people like Isabel to take up the charge. What has the response been from the student body with the amazing work that you've been doing?
Oh, I think it's overwhelmingly been positive. We have kids love the fact that when they make something, it goes out to the public and it is something that is going to be consumed. And they can sit there with pride saying, they put something I put together on there. I mean, it's not like an English paper. You write a great English paper, you, the teacher, and mom will put it on the fridge, and that's all it knows about it. But if you make a commercial for a local business, and you get to put that there, and you get everybody watching, and comments coming back and forth, and everyone's overly positive about this. We get compliments all across the state. We last night, Cole and I were talking to a board member from Beale City, and they're like, how can we make this happen in our school? What do you guys do? And they wanted to see the whole thing. So it's been feeding itself, and the recognition our kids have gotten at the state level.
Wonderful.
It's a natural recruiter.
I got to ask too, Isabel, how many students are involved in this? Is this a specific class or a club program after school? And I mean, I know when you're not doing the broadcasting, you're on the court with the girls' team, right? So there are other people that do some of those things as well.
So this is actually a class. We have a broadcasting class. It's my first hour class. Couldn't tell you the exact amount of kids that are in that, but we have like the broadcasting class, the advanced broadcasting class, and then you have a couple people that do like independent study. So
a lot.
Yeah, there's quite a few people involved.
Gary might know the answer to
We're close to about 32 people that are involved in that.
That's amazing.
And they all take various roles, and we've really tried to customize it to what people are interested in. So we have some kids that just want to do photography, sports photography, or actual student event photography. We don't have a yearbook class. So we try and cater to that, to them. We have kids that want digital media production. They want to be behind the scenes editing little movie clips and stuff like that. So we try and cater to that. And so we really try to hit the kids' interest, but then we always have to come back and try and recruit to make sure we can get our games on the air. So,
last minute we have here, Isabel, tell me about some of the other interview style projects that kids have been working on. Are you interviewing people in the community or people in the school? How does that come together?
So I personally have a show called Chats with Izzy. I recently did a series where I interviewed like retired teachers from McBain, just to hear about their time at McBain, see how the school's changed. I also interview our principal, the high school principal, about things that happen every month. We do that once a month. I know Senor interviews our superintendent for a superintendent corner. And yeah, we have some people that interview different people from around McBain about various things that are happening in the community, just to sort of like let people know what's happening. And
is this something you want to do, or other classmates have talked about doing as a career?
I know a couple of my classmates have talked about going into this as a field. I am personally looking at going into education, but I do have a couple of classmates that are very interested in continuing this on.
Well, unfortunately, we're out of time. Where can someone go to follow along with this journey, get more information on the program, and just
see what you're doing?
Yes, get updates on Isabel takes home the award.
Well, we have 2 YouTube pages. We have a McBain student production page, and that will be where the students have all the different productions of commercials, interviews, stuff like that. We have a Rambler Review YouTube page, and in that one you will be able to get any of the live sports or concerts or any of that type of live events going on right there. And before we go, we want to mention that Izzy Rose has now been employed to start doing radio broadcast of high school games on a local station. And I hope someone can let me know I'm wrong, but we were thinking back, she may be the very first female to ever call high school sports in northern Michigan on the radio. So
right after Women in Sports Day. Good job.
Well done.
Fantastic.
Well done.
Well, we hope you'll bring the camera gear to Detroit for the award ceremony and do a little clip on that.
Yes, please.
Good luck, and we'll hopefully see you in Detroit in just a couple of weeks. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here at the matchup we got going at Evart. You got your Ramblers and Wildcats with the McBain leading 18-17 as we start the third quarter. Izinga passes to Grant. Grant at the top of the key, directing her players, drives in herself, grabs the foul on the way up. She will now be shooting 2. Good drive there by Grant, getting in down under, trying to get a layup going for the Ramblers. Early start for him, and now she'll be shooting for 2. With her first, she makes it. Makes the game 19-17 now. Ref finding something on the floor, picks it up. And throws it off to the side. And now he will say one more, passes it right back to Grant. Grant, going to be looking for her second here. Bounces off the back, rebounded by Izzy. Izzy in some trouble, shoots and gets the layup. That'll be 21-17 now. Ramblers jumping ahead on the early start here. Now we got number 2 for, that'll be Gray. Gray going down, passing to 1. That's Elder. Elder down low. There will be a jump ball by Izzy. Evart will still grant the ball. Now we got number 22 checking in. That'll be Bell for Tight It coming out now. And Gray is going to be underneath. Gray giving it to number 22. 22 looking down low for 15. That'll gives it to the corner. That'll be Gray. Gray driving in, shoots it, no good. Izinga tripping and grabbing it. Grant doing the same thing, grabs it. Now pushing through half court, passes it down to Maloney. Maloney looking for Izzy, intercepted there by number 2. That'll be Gray. Gray driving down the court. Gray driving into the hoop, shoots up for 2, and no good as she falls on the ground and draws a foul. She'll be shooting 2 now. And like Grayson and me had said before he had left, very fast-paced and just back and forth constantly. That's exactly how this game will continue, too. Gray will take a couple dribbles before looking for her first. Bounces right on the edge of the fishbowl, bounces right out. Now she's looking for her second. makes it, making the game 21-18 now. Maloney will take it under for the Ramblers, giving it to Grant. Grant calling the play. Grant looking, gets it to Ridgway. Ridgway driving into the basket, she goes for two, no good. Rebounded by Gray for Evart, and Maloney will draw a foul. And we got a sub now. Maloney will be checking out, and number 3, that'll be Van Pol coming in. Gray giving it to number 15 now, gives it back to Gray. Slowly dribbling down the court. Gray looking down low, nothing, gives it to number 10. 10 passing it over to 15. 15 at top of the key, dribbling. Goes in, passes it to number 10, who's on the outside end. A foul with a travel. Couldn't keep with her feet there. And now we got Ridgway taking it out for the Ramblers, who will give it to Grant. Grant taking it at the top of the key, passes it to Izinga. Izinga looking down low, sees nothing, goes to the top of the key, back to Grant. Grant almost loses it. Grant in trouble, double team with Gray stealing the ball. She goes up and makes it. Now we got a score of 21-20, McBain leading by 1. Grant, she'll take it to the outside, goes for a 3, bounces off the edge of the fishbowl, no good. Gray will take it. Gray at the top of the key now. Driving in, gives it to 15, who's under, passes back up to Gray. Gray driving back in, goes for 2, bounces in and out. Izzy with the rebound, giving it to Gray. Grant. Grant all the way to Izinga, long pass. Izinga, multiple players. Saved by Izzy, but unfortunately gets it right back to number 10. That'll be Baumgartner. Baumgartner now taking it at the top of the key, looking, swings it to number 1. That'll be Elder. Elder gives it back to number 15. That's Miller. Miller back to 2. That's Gray. Gray with the 3, bounces off, no good. Rebounded by Ridgway. Ridgway now looking at Grant. Ridgway does a nice look-over pass to Izinga, who runs into some trouble, causing the jump ball. And now we got Big Roosevelt coming out for Little Roosevelt. And now we got Van Pol underneath the hoop, looking for Izinga. Izinga shoots the 3. Nope, no good. And that is rebounded by number 22. That's Bell. Bell driving in, gives it back to number 10. Number 10 gives it to Gray. Gray on the outside drives in for 2, knocks over a player. Got the charge. There we go. Izinga takes the charge. And now it'll be Rambler ball. Momentum shifter there. And we got an instant replay here as well for you guys. And as we pass it to Gray, Gray drives down here, but with Izinga right there, takes the charge, and that's exactly what you are taught to do. That stops them from driving into the basket anymore. It's less likely to happen. Izinga on the ground with Gray causes a jump ball. And that'll be Evart ball. Gray tosses it over to 10. That is Baumgartner. Baumgartner looking down to the side, sees number 22. That'll be Bell, gives it back to number 1. That's Elder. Elder driving in down to number 15. 15 goes up, bounces, no good. Rebounded by number 10. That's Little Roosevelt. Grant looking at Ridgway. Ridgway at top doing a move. Drives in underneath basket, gets a travel call, unfortunately, with 2 players right on top of her. And the score remains the same, 1-point difference. Ramblers 21-20. And now Baumgartner passes it to Gray. Gray slowly walking up to half court. As she passes half court, looking to pick up the pace. Takes side, goes to number 10. That'll be Baumgartner. Baumgartner gives it then to number 22, Bell, who loses it and goes outside. That ball was out of here, looking to leave the gym. Now we got Blood checking in for number 2, Izinga, giving Izinga a little breather. Blood underneath the hoop, gives it to Grant. Grant making her way towards half. She'll pass it, gives it to Ridgway. Ridgway looking to drive, not there. And we got a travel on 44 as she dribbled and tried to get up. Very unfortunate. And that'll leave it to McBain as Van Polen sits underneath the basket looking to pass it. Looking for an open Rambler. Can't seem to find one, gets one. That's off the hands of Evart player, right in the bloods, goes up for two. That'll make it 23-20. Gray driving down strong, gets up, and it rolls right in, making the score back to one difference. Grant looking down low, drives, Blood almost loses it, gets it to Little Roosevelt. Little Roosevelt up, no good. Off the hands of Blood, right into number 44. That's Tight It now taking it down the court. Tight It at the top of the key. Looking to drive in. And it's good as she lays it right in there with 3 Ramblers right in front of her. Wildcats take the lead again, 24-23. Grant yelling to her teammates as she passes half court. Drives it. Gets Ridgway an open 3. Ridgway off the rim. Rebounded by number 5. That's number 3. That's Van Polen. Good job there being under the basket at the right time. Ramblers take the lead again. 1 point difference. Gray now dribbling right up to half court. Gray. Cross. Looks to drive. Not there. Looks to pass back out. Gives number 22. Number 22. Bell gives it to Gray. Gray. Up with a little floater, did not work out. Grant takes it. Grant looking down low, looks to drive, goes up with it, bounces off the front of the rim, rebounded by herself, tries to go up with it again, gains the foul. And now she'll be shooting for 2, looking to spread the difference here a little bit, making the Ramblers get a little bit more better lead. And wow, fast-paced again, as I said before. I mean, back and forth, they just kept going after stolen ball, rebound after rebound. There's no ending to it. Grant with her first, bounces off the backside of the rim, does not go in. And as we got number 24, it's Huttinga checking in for Little Roosevelt. And now we got one checking in for Evart, 15 in for number 22. Number 15, that'll be Miller. As Grant now has 1 shot. Grant goes up. It's good, making the score difference a layup. 24-26 now. Gray looking down, giving directions to her teammates. Gives it off to number 15. 15 brings it to the top. That's number 10. That's Baumgartner. Baumgartner looking, sees nothing, gives it back to number 15. That'll be Miller. Miller looking, gives it to number 1. That'll be Elder. Elder looking down low for 44. That's Tight It looking to drive in. Keeps going. 3 Ramblers on top of her. Nothing. And as number 10 steps out of bounds, Baumgartner, it'll be McBain ball. After a tough look underneath there, Tight It had 3 Ramblers on top of her, trying to swing it back out. Unfortunately, did not work for Evart. Now Ridgway gives it to Grant. Grant looking at the clock. Then she looks back to her teammates, gives it to Van Polen. Van Polen to Big Roosevelt. Big Roosevelt looking down, gives it to Huttinga. Huttinga up top. Huttinga looking to number 5, Grant. Grant looking, gives it to Van Polen, bounces off her arms, and Tight It's right there to steal it back. Tight It driving down the court. Looking. She's going to take the 3, and she drains it. Wildcats now with the lead by 1. 27-26. Grant now looking back for Van Polen. Van Polen takes it. Van Polen to Big Roosevelt. Big Roosevelt looking down low. Nothing there. Gives it to Huttinga. Huttinga looking down low. Nothing there. Gives it back to Grant. Grant looking down low. Nothing there either. Gives it back to Ridgway. Ridgway for 3. In and out again. Roosevelt down there. No shot available. And there's a foul down there on the ground. Wow. Van Polen now looking down. Looking to give it to a Rambler. Can't find one. Gives it right to Huttinga. Huttinga up for 2. No good. On the ground now. Tight It and Roosevelt. And McBain ball. After falling right on top of each other, McBain manages to keep the ball. Van Polen looking for an open Rambler. Van Polen gives it way out, looking for Ridgway, not available. Gets stolen by Gray. Gray driving down the court, goes for two, and no good, but she does get the foul. On the breakaway, looking for two, no good. Gains a foul, she'll be shooting for two now after there was a push by a Rambler. 27-26, she's looking to separate the score now. Very, very fast-paced game. As I've said a million times, I'm sorry if that's annoying. It's just, if you're sitting here, it's probably a lot different for everybody here at home. But if you're sitting right here in the gym, the adrenaline and the loudness of the gym just rolls right through you, and it's crazy. And now Wildcats 28, Ramblers 26, looks for a second and gets it. And now there is a 3-point difference. Wildcats take the lead. Grant looking for Dean. Looking down low, sees nothing available. Looking back up, nothing there. Dribbles it, tries to drive, gives it to Izzy. Izzy going up for two, not available. Grabs her own rebound. Gets another foul down low. And she now will go up for, nope, she won't. Okay. So, Van Poel now underneath the hoop. We'll be looking for another Rambler. Nope, she is shooting for two. Okay, cool. So Roosevelt now, big Roosevelt looking for two, hopefully to gain a little bit more points back for the Ramblers to knock down that deficit. First one, off the front, back, and gone. She'll be looking for her second now, one more remaining. With 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Big Roosevelt drains it. Nothing but net. 29-27. Gray on the outside gets it after Tight passed it to her. Gray looking down the court, dribbling, takes a lane, goes to drive, passes out to number one with an open three. Bounces off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Van Polen. Van Polen gonna take it herself. She's gonna go past half court now, looking down to Ferdine. Ferdine catches it. Looking for help. Dribbles down low, nothing there. And they will take the ball after it bounces off a white player. Evart knocks it out of bounds. McBain will set up shop right underneath their hoop. With only a 2-point difference, Van Polen looking for an open Rambler, trying to find one. Somebody needs to get open. Gets it to Grant on the outside. Grant is going to dribble. She's going to find her for Dean for three. Almost in and out. Rebounded by number 24. That's Huttinga looking what to do. Gives it to Van Polen. Van Polen up for two, no good. Izzy underneath the hoop. Jump ball with 1 second left to go on the clock. Rambler ball with 1 second. We're going to have to be a very fast play here, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to get this off. Van Polen looking for an open Rambler. Gets it to Blood. That's Grant. Shoots the three. Off the rim. Spins right off. No good. Ending the third quarter, 29-27. And what a third quarter. First the Ramblers get it, then the Wildcats get it. Ramblers get the lead again, but Wildcats to come back ahead. What a quarter. And now we'll be going right for commercial break, and I'll see you, ladies and gentlemen.
For people who desire a custom-built home in northern Michigan, Arrow Homes is the premier builder that specializes in creating stunning, high-quality custom homes that reflect each homeowner's unique style and needs. Unlike other home builders that rely on cookie-cutter designs, Arrow Homes partners closely with clients through every step of the process, from initial design concept to final walkthrough, creating a truly customized living space. With over 50 years of home building expertise using only the finest materials and the most skilled craftsmen, Arrow Homes constructs exceptional custom houses that owners are proud to call home.
L&J Meat Market. Our meat speaks for itself.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for the fourth quarter. And Wildcats 29, Ramblers 27. We'll have number 15 for the Wildcats. That'll be Miller taking it out. Miller looking to pass it in. Gets it to Gray, who's looking back. Gray drives up, finding a lane, takes it, tosses it out of bounds, looking for Tight it, but unfortunately didn't get it to her because a Rambler slipped it right off their fingers. Evart now will be setting up shop right underneath the hoop. Gray taking it out herself. Will be looking for an open Evart player. Gray looks up top for Tight it. Tight it will take it. Huttinga looking to guard her as she goes underneath, passes it right back out to number 10. off the fishbowl there, and now Van Polen will take it herself, driving up at the top of the key, looking for an open teammate down low. Nothing there yet. Looking to form something. Picks up her dribble, gives it to Grant. Grant now shuffles it right back over to Van Polen. Van Polen looking for somebody. Van Polen needs help, gives it to Izzy. Izzy now driving in, trying to look for a layup, not possible, and with 3 Wildcats on her, isn't able to keep her feet and gets a foul of a travel. Tight it now, taking it underneath the Evart hoop, looking to pass it into Gray. Tight it to Gray. Gray gonna walk it up the court now. As she passes half court right over the Wildcat eye on the floor, she looks, gives it to number 15. That's Miller, gives it back to number 2. That'll be Gray. Miller up top for 3. Good. Making the score a bit more, making it 32-27. Ramblers now. Grant at top of the key, giving it to Ferdine. Ferdine looking down low, nothing, gives it back to Grant. Grant looking, finds Huttinga underneath. Huttinga loses the dribble. Tight it to steal it again. Tight it, gives it to Gray. Gray. Gray gives it to number 1. Number 1 getting guarded. Gives it to Tight it down low again. Dribbling. Trying to look up for it. Nothing there. Gives it to number 1. Back up to number 2. That's Gray. Gray for 3. Gray drains it. 35-27 in a matter of 3 minutes. Wildcats dig their claws right into the Ramblers' tread of their tires and put a stop to this game, trying to make sure they get the win here. And with that,
When you think of maple syrup, you think a nice plate of pancakes. But what if we told you that maple syrup can be so much more? Highland Hills maple syrup. Take the ordinary and make it extraordinary.
Fresh homemade pizza, made just for you at a cheap price. If that sounds like a good deal, then Kelly's is the place for you. Next time you're feeling hungry, remember Kelly's.
and we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like we're going to have a lineup change for the Ramblers. We're going to have number 22, Maloney, Little Roosevelt, that's number 10, Blood, number 12, Ridgway, number 1, and number 2, Isinga on the court. Isinga will now take it underneath McBain's basket. McBain gives it to Maloney. Maloney now going to take it up, looks to pass back to Ridgway. Ridgway taking it to the top of the key, calling a play call. Looking for Isinga. Isinga gets the ball. She's going to look down low, nothing there, gives it to Little Roosevelt. Little Roosevelt, not good. And Gray now will grab the rebound, get some pressure from Blood, makes her move. She takes a wide open lane. Foul in a, wow. Gray to drive right down there, getting the layup, making it 37-27 now. She'll be looking for a free throw here. Wow. And with 6 minutes and 1 second left on the clock. After this free throw, it's up, and it's good. Making it 38-27 now. Little Roosevelt to Ridgway. Ridgway looking, nothing there. Ridgway going to take it herself. Runs into a little trouble, squeeze right past it, right down low to Little Roosevelt. Back to Blood. Blood trying to look for something, nothing there. Gets it to Maloney. Maloney gives it to Isinga with the 3. Good. McBain responds with a 3, making it 38-30 now. Gray thinking what to do, gives it to number 22. Number 22 then goes down for herself, off the rim, no good. Foul. McBain ball now. Now number 2, that'll be Isinga taking out from McBain. Isinga got an option of Maloney, Ridgway, or Blood. Gives it to Maloney, gives it back to Isinga. Isinga looking down court, getting pressured, gives it to Maloney. Maloney also getting pressured, looking for Blood. Blood takes the top of the key. Blood looking down low, nothing there. Gives it back to Isinga. Isinga looking down, nothing. drives herself up for the 2, blocked, and is rebounded by number 22. That is Bell. Gives it back to Tight It. Tight It take it down the court now. Little Roosevelt guarding her, decides to take another lane as she goes up for 2, and it's good. Making the score 40-30, 10-point game now. Ridgway taking it half court. Ridgway at the top of the key. Ridgway gives it to Isinga. Isinga now takes it to the top. Isinga looking for Blood, not there. Gives it to her. Blood looking down low, nothing. Drives it in herself, swings it back out to Isinga. Isinga gives it back to Blood. Blood with a wide open 3, no good. Good look there by Blood, just trying to get the 3 off, but she does gain a foul. So now she'll be shooting her 2 free throws as well. 10-point difference now. And as the Wildcats, just in the last few minutes here, just amped up their speed. As we thought it was fast enough, they decided to take it to a whole nother level. Blood bounces off the back of the rim, no good. Blood looking for her second now. Up with it. Off the back, no good. And my mistake, she'll be shooting 3. That's on me. Little Roosevelt checks out for Grant, sorry. Blood now. Shoots her 3rd, no good. Maloney over the back, grabs it, tries to toss it over, but does get a travel. Shot won't count by Grant. Now Tight It will take under Evart. Tight It looking for an open player. Gets its number 15. 15's Miller. Give it back to Tight It. Tight It now. Looking to dribble it. Tight It dribbling down back over the... Showing off some moves. Gives it back to number 15, Miller. Miller driving in. Nothing there. Gives it back to number 1. Number 1 looking to drive. No good. Tight It. The top looks to drive. Gives it to number 2 and 2. That's Bell. 22. Gives it back to number 10, Miller. Miller up. No good as it goes out of bounds. Isinga will take it out for the Ramblers now. Looking for Grant. Isinga to Grant. Grant under a little bit of pressure by number 22, Bell. Meets number 10, that's Miller. Drives in herself. Easy lay-in. 2 points. 40-32 now. Number 10, that's Baumgartner. Baumgartner looking. Takes a lane wide open. Gives it out to number 1. Number 1 with an open 3. No good. Rebounded by Isinga. Isinga gives it to Grant. And Grant looking down low for Blood. Blood looking for Maloney. Maloney up for 2. Good. 40-34. Ramblers are trying to make a comeback here. Bounce pass number 10. That'll be Baumgartner. Baumgartner met by Blood. And we get a timeout by the Wildcats. Whew. 40-34 now as we get a timeout break. I mean, what a fourth quarter. 40-34. Ramblers making a comeback here, just trying to gain back a little bit more points. That way they can take down the deficit that was once created by the Wildcats.
When you think of maple syrup, you think a nice plate of pancakes. But what if we told you that maple syrup can be so much more? Highland Hills maple syrup. Take the ordinary and make it extraordinary.
L&J Meat Market. Our meat speaks for itself.
And there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We are back now with 3 minutes, 23 seconds left to go. The Wildcats 40, Ramblers 34 as it's Wildcat ball. Number 10, Baumgartner will take it out for the Wildcats on McBain's side of the court. Baumgartner looking. Finds an open Wildcat. That's Gray. Gray looking. She's looking for a lane to take. Nothing there. Takes it. Knocks over. Gets a charge. Maloney to take a charge. Amazing charge taken there by Maloney. Once again, just like Izinga, Gray's looking right here. No lane here, so she takes this one. Going around, Maloney's there to meet her and just absolutely takes the charge. Not making that layup. No good. Grant now at the top of the key. Grant looking. Dribbles on the outside. Looking across court for Ridgway. Ridgway to take it in herself. Looking underneath, nothing. Gets it. Oh. Over and back dribble. Tight it now to take it out. Tight it looking for somebody to get open. Gets it to Van Polen instead. Van Polen looking for Ridgway. Ridgway looking down low. Takes it herself. Tries to go up for two. No good. Rebounded by Tight it. Tight it now to take it herself, who is pressured by Maloney. Now we got number 1. That'll be Elder to take it up. Ridgway to Gardner. Elder gives it to number 10. Baumgartner stolen by Ferdine. Ferdine taking it down court. Up for 2, and it is good. Making the score 36-40. Ramblers once again coming right back to them Wildcats. Number 1 looking for number 2. That's Bell. Ferdine down there to try and stop her. No good, but does draw the foul. Ooh, what was almost looking to be a little scary. Unfortunately, does draw a foul. Number 22, Bell, now to take 2 shots. Bell. First shot's up. Bounces off the back and off to the side. Gone like no tomorrow. And now we got one more. Bell up. Bounces out of the rim, but is rebounded by number 15. Gives it back to Tight it. Tight it on the outside. Gives it back to 15. 15 looks for number 10. That's Baumgartner. Baumgartner with a 3. Makes the score bigger for the Wildcats, 43-36. Grant, cross court to Ferdine. Ferdine almost gets a 3 after it bounces off. Bell looking for number 1. Number 1 slows down a little bit as she's pressured by Ridgway. Number 1 driving, looking for a little help. Does a spin move, gets a travel as she's trying to move. And McBain will call their timeout here. As the Ramblers are trying to make a way back there after speeding right back up to the Wildcats look back behind and just decide to slash one of their tires, making it not available, making it 43-36. We'll bring you commercial time, which is brought to you by L&J's Meat Market.
Reedy's is a family restaurant on Main Street in McBain. Their menu has something for everyone, from kids' meals and pizza or burgers to their entrees such as grilled salmon, grilled tilapia, pasta dishes, and the best barbecue ribs or chicken around. Tuesday through Thursdays, Reedy's is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Fridays and Saturdays, they close at 9 p.m. And Sundays, they are not open at all. Food for your mood.
Grant now gets a foul as Bell pressured her on her own side of the court. Ramblers will now take it back onto the side. Ridgway now on the side to take it out for McBain. Looking to give it to Grant. Bell still there, gives it to Grant. Grant will take it to the top of the key, pressured. Back to Ridgway. Ridgway looking down low, gets it back up top. Gets to Grant for a wide open 3, no good, bounces off the backside. Bell to take it now. Bell outside, steps out of bounds, knocked out of bounds. It's a foul with Grant getting a push. Tight it, take it out now for the Wildcats. Tight it, looking for an open Wildcat. Can't find one. Nope, she did, but they did call a timeout. Wildcats call a timeout. With the score 43 Wildcats, 36 Ramblers with 1 minute and 44 seconds left in the game. Now we go.
Northern Truck Service, established in 2015 by John Skierbeck. It's a full diesel mechanic shop that can do anything from changing a light bulb to a full rebuild. With a stock of most parts, they can get you back on the road in no time.
Eisen got to grab the rebound. Eisen gives it back to Grant. Grant now looking down on the side. Ridgway. Ridgway gets a travel. 43-36. 1 minute 31. Tight it now for the Wildcats to take it out of bounds. Tight it. Gets it number 10. Number 10 looking down. Back to tight it. Crosses half court is met by Grant. Grant and tight it now. Tight it, double team, bounces it right to one who almost loses it, but gets it off to 15. 15 Miller. Miller looking as she's pressured by Van Polen. Van Polen trying to take it, but another timeout by Wildcats. And it'll be a full timeout, and we will hit you with another commercial, which is brought to you by L&J Meat Market.
Fresh homemade pizza, made just for you at a cheap price. If that sounds like a good deal, then Kelly's is the place for you. Next time you're feeling hungry, remember Kelly's.
After that timeout, we are back. Ramblers taking the court first. Wildcats just coming off theirs. And I do believe it will be a Evart ball, yep. As number 10, yep. Number 10, Baumgartner looking. Gives it to Bell. Almost steps over half, but doesn't. Maloney draws a foul. Evart ball still now will be underneath the hoop with 1 minute and 6 seconds left to go. Tight it now. Take it out for the Wildcats. Tight it. Passes up top. Gives it to number 15. 15 gives it back to tight it. Tight it now looking to drive, but loses the ball to Grant. Grant now goes up for two. No good. Gets her own rebound. Goes up for two again, and it's good. 43-38 now. Bell looking no good. Gets it to tight it. Tight it. Getting a little aggressive after there is 3 Ramblers there pressuring her. But there is a foul called. That'll be a push on McBain. Evart now will take some free throws as Tight It will go down alone to shoot some. Makes her first, making it 44. Looking for her second. Bounces off the front, hits the back, gone, out of town, no good. 44-38 now. Evart, as Bell comes out, and I believe number 33 checked into the game, which is Duncan. And they go underneath McBain's basket. Number 44, Tight It will now take it out. Tight It, looking for Wildcat, gets it to number one. Number one running in a little trouble, gets it to Tight It. Tight It now, try and take it, tosses it, but there is a foul drawn by Ferdine, which now will result in 2 free throws. Tight It will take 2 again. Tied it with her first. Bounces off the back and in. Like a bass flopping right out of the water. Now 45-38, she'll be looking for her second. No good. Blood to rebound it, gives it to Grant. Grant now to take it. Grant gives it to Coochie. Coochie looking down low, nothing there, gives it back to Grant. Blood up top for a 3, no good. Number 15 now gives it to number 44, tied it. And a foul again by Ferdine. And tied it again to go down to the free throw line. Takes her first. And in. She'll be looking for her second now, 46-38. And if the price is right. And it is. 47-38 now for the Wildcats. Grant coming down court. Look is over to toss it to Van Polen. Gives it to Coochie. Coochie now trying to drive in. Not there. Loses her dribble. Coochie now on the floor. Jump ball. And now Van Polen now will take it out for the Ramblers with 13 and 0.5 seconds left to go. Van Polen now looking, gives it to Grant. Grant gives it to Ferdine, who goes right through her hands, but grabs it, gets it to Blood. Blood looking up for 3. No good. And it's out of bounds on Evart as she tried to grab it. Duncan trying to save the ball to toss it right back to number 15, but was not there. Van Polen, number 3 for McBain. Now will take it with 4 seconds left in the game. Gives it to Grant. Grant for 3. No good. Rebounded by Tied It to hold the ball. Ends the game. Evart will win this one, ladies and gentlemen, 47-38. What a great game tonight. Both teams played very well, very fast-paced, very hard-fought, neck and neck all the way until the fourth quarter when it was a little bit back and forth, and then Evart finally taking the top. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening in to this girls varsity basketball game, and thank you to all the refs for refereeing tonight. Really appreciate it. And we will see you for the boys varsity basketball game. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.